Can you tell me about your journey joining Leeds United? How you found your way here?
Well, I was at Portsmouth for the last 2 years, and then things weren't looking the best. The situation being stable at the club for things that was happening there. Left there, and then there was a couple of options available, and then Leeds popped up, and obviously being such a great club in the past, I thought why not and give it a shot. So I came here.
And you originally moved over to Portsmouth when you were 13, 14 years old?
Yeah, I was 15 or 14 at the time. I moved over and started my contract there.
And how have you've been at Leeds now, I think 3-4 months. How have you found it so far?
Yeah, I've loved every minute of it. Ever since I walked in there the first day of trial, yeah, I've loved every bit of it, and just enjoying it every day more and more. So it's good. It's what I want.
And obviously the club's had a pretty strong link with Australians in the past, with particular Harry Kewell and Mark Viduka and Patrick Isnobo at the moment. Was that a factor in picking these? Because as you mentioned, you had other offers.
Well, at the start, obviously I knew about Harry Kewell and Mark Viduka playing here, but it was just the fact of Leeds being such a big club and also a stable club, and I thought it would have been a great opportunity to come to a club like this. So I took the opportunity as soon as it came up.
And you've been playing the under-21s, and I think you scored on your debut and scored a few goals so far, so things are going well. Yeah,
things are looking good. Just got to keep working harder and harder every day, every match that comes, and just do my job and score goals, and hopefully I'll get a call up soon. How
close do you think you are to first team football?
I like to say I'm close, but I'm not completely sure because I'm the coach. But I've done what I've had to do since I've come in, and I guess I'm still finding my feet at the club, so we'll see what happens in the next couple of months.
Has Neil Warnock been in touch with you, what he wants to see from you in games and in training?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, he's noticed that I've been scoring goals, and he notices that I'm a player in and around the club, so that's good to be noticed from the gaffer. So we'll just see, like I said, what's going to happen.
We're looking to go out on loan at some point soon this season, or perhaps next season?
Not at the moment, no. I just think I've got to settle in this club at the moment, do what I have to do, and hopefully things, whatever path comes along, then we'll see what happens. But at the moment, just sticking to Leeds and concentrating on playing for my team.
And you've played for the Joeys when you were younger. Is that one of your goals to represent Australia again?
Yeah, of course. Playing for Australia or your country is probably one of the best things and most happiest times that any player would want to do. At the moment, I'm just concentrating on my career. That's going to be in the long run, and hopefully, if I do get a call up for Australia, of course I'm not going to say no. So we'll just see what happens there.
And the under-20 World Cup's on next year. Have you had any contact from FFA about that?
No, not that I know of. A lot of contact goes to my agent Bongo, so he hasn't mentioned nothing, but I think at the moment, more than anything, we both want to concentrate on my long-term career.
If that opportunity comes up though, would you like to be in that squad for
the
World Cup next year?
I'd love to represent Australia, where I come from, where I grew up and where it all started. So.
You're from Western Sydney. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got into football as a kid in Liverpool?
Well, having Argentinian and Italian background, obviously it's in your blood really, but also my father playing football since when I was born, even before when I was born, watching him, and he was a utility player, played everywhere, midfield, striker, goalkeeper as well, but when he played striker he used to score a lot of goals, and I used to look up to that, and then having DVDs of Maradona, yeah, it sparked up a lot of interest in football, and then I started ever since I think I started walking really.
And what junior clubs did you play for?
Well, I first started at Prairie Wood a couple of years, then I went to AC United under 7s, then I went to Fairfield Bulls under 8s, and then Canley Heights, Smithwood RSL, Bonnery White Eagles, and then Blacktown City Demons for 3 years, and then that's where I got spotted to come to Portsmouth.
And you mentioned Maradona. Was he one of the, one of your idols or heroes growing up?
Yeah, he was a massive idol for me on the field, not really off the field as a person, but on the field, the things that he could do with the ball were just amazing. And being left-footed, same as me, I always dreamed to do half the stuff he could and add on to it really.
And you're a striker. Have you always played up front, or have you made the move sort of more recently?
No. I've always been a striker. Yeah, at Portsmouth, I had a couple of spells on left wing, but other than that, I've always been number 9 up there, scoring goals.
Well, how would you describe your game up front? What do you think are your strengths?
Finishing's one of my main strengths. It's got to be as a striker. I've got good feet in and around the box, got good awareness and good vision. Yeah, I've got good things. Probably my only weakness, I think, at the moment is still trying to find myself to head of the ball. And yeah, that's about it really. My right foot's coming along, which is I'm really happy about, and need both feet.
And you're from Western Sydney. Obviously the Wanderers have come in this season in the A-League. What do you think about that?
But I think it's amazing, to be honest. I was watching the other day Central Coast Mariners and Sydney Wanderers at Parramatta Stadium, and I thought it was a really good reception at the stadium. You know, being in the Western area, you've got a lot of ethnic backgrounds, and I thought, you know, a club being brought in the western suburbs was really good for the western side of Australia, because all the ethnic backgrounds do have a lot of passion for football, and I think it was really good what I saw. It's really good for the A-League, because I think Australian football needs to get up there a lot more.
Have you been following the A-League over here, or, you know, when you were younger in Australia?
I didn't really know much about it when I was younger in Australia, but as soon as it got bigger, I started noticing more and just having looks here and there when I have time to see how it goes. So yeah, I've noticed about it and kept tracking some bits. Yeah.
And would you like to play in the A-League, you know, some point in your career down the line?
Yeah, I've always thought to always go back home and play. And, you know, when it's time to, I think, to settle down is probably the best time. It would be amazing to go home and play football again, like when I was younger. So that would be good. Yeah, I always thought about going back. Yeah.
And you've been playing in the reserves a bit with Patrick Isnobo before he went on loan. I mean, what was that like? Has he helped you come into the club and find your feet?
Yeah, it was really good. Patrick introduced himself straight away to me as soon as he found out there was another Aussie in the club, so that was really good. Yeah, but playing games, not just games but training as well, was really good, because being such a experienced player, playing Socceroos for Leicester, Leeds, it really does help, especially him being a centre back and me, your striker. He's teaching me the weaknesses for what defenders don't like and do, and going up against him in training was really good, because it shows whether I can be playing first team or not.
And what's been the highlight of your career so far, you know, in Portsmouth and now at Leeds?
To be honest, the highlight of my career overall is being able to, given the chance to come over to England to play football, because being a kid in Australia, your dream is to go overseas and play football. So I think the whole thing about coming to England at such a young age was a massive highlight for me. You know, leaving my family wasn't easy, but it's what I love, and I had to make a choice, and I think that was the biggest highlight of my career at the moment.
How hard's that been? I mean, as you said, you're coming over as a kid without your family, and, you know, adapting to a new culture, new climate, new country, and not really knowing anyone. Yeah,
at the start it was really difficult to adapt, because you don't get used to not seeing your family at home, so that's probably the worst bit. But the strength that they give you to keep going is amazing. It does help, and also you miss them a lot. But it's good to go home Christmas, and then after the season finishes, to go home and see them again. But it's never easy to leave. Doesn't matter. It's been 4 years now, 3 years that I've gone and come back. It never gets easier for me.
And Leeds have got new owners now, and there's talk about more investment in the squad. What's your take on that? Obviously, Leeds is a big club with a pretty impressive history.
Yeah, no, I think the takeover was really good, not just for the players but also for the club, because we are looking to get to the Premier League, and obviously to be in the Premier League you need a bit of money.